Say this. When I first found God, the directed energy weapons, um, then I started getting the algorithms because my laptop was already hacked, basically telling me everything that already happened with my life. My family sold me off to the highest auctioneer when I was a child. Everywhere we went, my dad was in the army. Every 3 years we left, so it was perfect opportunity to do life insurance policy scams, to do, death, whatever, those quick money things. And then also to auction off your kid and then whatever. And then leave. So that's what my family did. And then when I left and I went to college, I guess when I got my student loan, that's when Christian Harrington found me. And he proceeded to rape me in my apartment. I don't know if it was 2013 when he started, but I left home at 2006. And then I guess I was MIA, so nobody knew where I was, which was perfect. And then when I got my apartment in 2013, that's when people bribed my landlords so that they could rape me when I would sleep. And then I guess they would drug me, and I didn't know that I was on drugs, like cocaine and stuff. So they would drug me after I slept and do whatever they wanted to me. And then because couldn't sleep because I guess they were just giving me too much medication, too much cocaine or whatever. And then claiming I'm a druggie, which I wasn't. So I couldn't sleep. So then I got a second job because I couldn't sleep. So then I had 2 full-time jobs, and I guess that messed up their decision to try to use me for human trafficking and rape me without my knowledge, because I could only sleep for like 3 hours. So, and then I guess when I would be at work and I would sleep, that's when they would do other stuff to me. They would follow me. They would have people follow me at work to watch what I was doing. They would watch me on the screen constantly. I would walk in, even for inventory, and they'd be like just watching me. And I was like, there's other people. And then they would nitpick what I did. They're like, it should take you less time to count. I was like, first of all, I always count fast. And your other people are taking way longer, so why are you on me? I was heavily persecuted and discriminated. And even when I went to college, because Christian Harrington knew I was in college, I guess he thought I was Jasmine Harrington, who was with Elon Musk, but she, I guess he thought I was her or something. And so he hated me and paid people at Cal Poly Pomona to try to destroy, my schooling, which they did because I never graduated. And, and then 2019, I was struggling with work all the time, but I would always find a job. And then all of a sudden it got so bad to 2019 when the Riverside Police Department started stalking me, and I started finding that the police vehicles in the garages were the ones that were following me. And then the hacking started where my evidence would be hidden. It was pretty crazy. And then to the point where I lost my apartment, and then when I moved back home and took care of my mom, and then she was murdered, and then I almost they attempted to murder me. And even while I was recovering, they were raping me. And then I guess also killed me. I don't know if it was an actual killing or if it was, what do you call it? Like what Hollywood would do is, paint your face and make you look like you're dead, and then get a life insurance policy. The thing is that you couldn't really get a life insurance policy on somebody who keeps on doing their taxes, so I guess everybody kept getting screwed because I kept on finding work, which proved I was alive. So nobody could really make money off of me because I've always been in work. And then I guess I wasn't really in work in Riverside for a little bit because I was in a band and I was doing construction. So I guess they were like, oh, perfect opportunity, like she's not in the system. And then I got back into the system when I was in Arizona, and hence they continued to claim, oh no, you need to get rid of her, she's not who she says she was, stupid stuff like that. And then I tried to get a job online, and I guess Kimberly Harrington, my brother's ex-wife, piece of trash, told somebody in New York, oh, give her a job here. And I gave them my information. I never started the job, and then they used my information to open up 5 businesses in my Social Security here. And then when I started exposing that, then they started cutting that out. And now I'm in New York, and I'm still being persecuted because I am a targeted individual. I have an education. I made a business, and now all of a sudden my business is no longer in my name. You know, it's just, and then my business all of a sudden is an LLC when I know it's a nonprofit because that's what I made it, but I can't make, I don't have money to make it an absolutely nonprofit. So this is just, it's insane how people have intentionally destroyed my life. And just because I have the same name, but I wasn't bothering anyone, but that's not the whole point. It's because they want to use me for something and they can't.